Here we've got diseases of the tissues. Really, we could have done with more questions on here. I think this is certainly on the spec. So diseases of the tissues. We could get how can epithelial be damaged? Well, we can talk about COPD, which is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, which is emphysema and bronchitis. Chronic obstructive bronchitis. So these, how can the epithelial tissue in the airways be damaged? So if you think about a normal kind of bronchiole with alveoli there, you could have bronchitis where we're getting mucus and infections there, or emphysema, so that might be bronchitis, or emphysema where we've got the same sort of diagram, you're losing this kind of surface area. So let's deal with emphysema. First, you're getting destruction of the alveolar walls. They're losing shape. Losing elasticity. So you're getting kind of fewer and larger alveoli in time, and that's not good for gas exchange. So less area for gas exchange, and so these patients generally have to have oxygen supplied, and they breathe a lot because they're struggling to get the oxygen in. So less O2 into the body. And bronchitis, here we are talking about, you get over time this lining gets irritated by things like dust or from smoking, and you get more and more mucus producing cells like goblet cells, and this mucus can get infected and just makes the problem worse and worse. So we get, so this is irritation of the bronchioles, e.g. smoking or dust pollution, that sort of thing. And lots of mucus made, which is a problem. And it's obstructive, which means it narrows this airway, so we get a narrowing of the airway. You might get infections, infected mucus, which is a problem. And then we're on to problems that you might get with the blood vessels. So you might have a blood vessel, like an artery. We just looked at the layers, and you might get some small damage in this wall, and then you start to get a plaque forming, layers of kind of harder material in this plaque. And then you might get blood clots forming here, and that might have further problems. So risk factors are unhealthy blood cholesterol levels, so caused by healthy cholesterol. There's more to it than that, but I think for the moment we can just pin it on cholesterol. Good and bad cholesterol. Yeah, the LDL, low density lipoprotein type of cholesterol, and things like high blood pressure also possibly to blame. And we can always it's always safe to go smoking is going to be bad, and lack of physical activity in general, lack of exercise, and this deposit. So atherosclerosis. Let's call this atherosclerosis, and you get a plaque form. So plaque. A plaque formation there. So that's essentially what happens. But you can see the problem that this is getting narrower, and bits of it can break off and move. And which is, if a deposit breaks off, what can it cause? It can cause a blockage, a heart attack, where oxygen can't get to the through the coronary arteries to the muscle tissue in the heart. So, could cause heart attack, lack of oxygen to cardiac muscle. We could get blood clots, so that can again cause a heart attack, or might cause a stroke. So lack of oxygen to the brain. Again, possible problems there.